but not too close. Yes. And Abigail, very solemn indeed.
Very solemn and tactful, like you would have of the military. They are making sure that everything is going as planned, and they don't care who is in their way. They just have to do what they have to do, issuing out a lot of instructions to the military, to the media here as to where to stand and where not to cross. And of course, this is indeed a solemn moment, trying to pay our final respect to a young legend, to a champ that gave his all to the country and to humanity as well. It's, I can't say it's a beautiful scene, but it is full of respect, full of honor for Christian Atsu. He said that when the casket is being lowered, there is no camera. They do not need any camera. I'm sure it is part of maybe a family right or something that they are having. And so there is no need for a camera towards where Christian Atsu is being laid. And so we will need to step back a little and watch from afar. It is interesting. The military are lowering the casket finally, putting the remains where we'll be filing past to see the final remains of Christian Atsu, and it has been heavily guarded still by the military, making sure that it is put at the right spots that they have marked out for it. It's interesting how they would want to guard it with their lives, want to make sure that nothing hinders their way of paying the last respect to a man that gave his all to the nation. And for proceedings, however and whoever will want to be an impediment, you'll be taken out of their way. So finally, the casket has been lowered, the moment where they do not want to see any cameras around or meters closer to it for some sort of rite to be performed or some moment with the casket. And yes, so finally 6 men saluting and obeying commands from their leader, and yes, standing in all respect by the remains of Christian Atsu, lowering it. They are taking off the Ghana flag that was used to decorate, or let me say, cover the casket. And so it is with instructions and not taking almost immediately. The red has been folded, I can see. They are folding it with commands. After that, they are waiting for the next command to gradually fold it. And yes, the green is also folded onto the gold in the Ghana flag. Clearly, it has its own symbolism. Maybe later we'll get to understand it, but for now, this is what they are doing. And so cautioning the media to take cameras away. We would have to get closer, maybe later go and understand why this ritual does not need cameras, but it has a meaning. The red was folded onto the gold, the green also folded onto the gold, and I can see that the middle part that has the gold is also been folded in a certain way, not just taking it off. And they are having their own, yes, we would have to pause, take instructions. We do not know what it is. So the next instruction is to fold one side. Is to fold one side onto the green and red side that was already folded. This clearly has a symbolism, and it is folded in a certain way, triangularly, not straightforward as we've seen it. So there's a lot that is happening on the casket of Christian Atsu. Give us a lot of meanings, I'm sure, to the military and to a lot that are trying to position its caskets. Finally, they can explain to us why it was folded in that way and in that manner, and the instructions that are being issued out. And so clearly, people, a lot of you are still joining us on our social media handles and giving us all your last messages as well to Christian Achino. Nakwame Asamoah says that may his soul rest in peace. Kobna Boche says that, death, where are you sitting? Deepest condolence to the family and the friends. Provider says, so sad. Rest well. Atsu. Babanana says that from him we came, to him we shall all return. Rest well. Aljana Christian, and Obeng Doris says rest in power. So we're still taking your messages here. And Salom also says rest in peace. But there's some rather sad moment here. Families and friends are finally trooping in. Remember, there were some kids from some orphanage that you had helped were present at the 1 week. Cheetah FC had his playmate, or the next generation also joining it. So clearly today, I'm sure we'll get to see them come to also pay respect to their senior, to their mentor, to one that they've looked up to also give them hope. And so the military have opened the casket. I'm sure that is when we file past where you are going to see, and they are having a little ritual again this summer. Not just the military, but I can see some men in long coats, hats, not seen any family. I'm sure with the undertakers, and they have their own ritual they normally do when it comes to moments like this. And so they are guided by the military, but they are just looking as they do their own thing. And so they are also doing what they have to do before the filing pass will begin. But friends and families have begun trooping in. We are seeing people coming here in a morning state, coming to also pay their last respect to Christian Atsu, former Black Stars player, former Chelsea player. And so here we are at the forecourt of the State House. The military still holding on, guarding the remains heavily as the undertakers do their own thing, their own ritual before they leave the body finally for the military, and then possibly we can start filing past, and then we'll get to pay our last respect to. I saw you talking to one of the leaders. Was he willing to explain why the flag was folded that way?
Well, he says he will come and explain to us very, very soon. He's a little tight now, but he will let us have a clear understanding of how the flag was folded the way it was and what's being done now. So very soon we'll have, the head of the party explaining to us so that, we can have a clear understanding.
I'm sure it will be very insightful, because we have thought that they would have just zipped it up, taken it off, and just folded it normally. But here they were first the red was folded onto the gold, and then the green onto the gold as well, and then now folded in a triangular way. I'm sure that when he joins us later, we'll get to really understand and get a hold of how and why it was done that way. But if you just joined us on our social media handles, there's a GTV Sports Plus coverage of the memorial service. So let me say, the final funeral rites of Christian Atsu, who lived 31 years gloriously, if he asked me. Had his own trophies on and off the field. He said his family and his children are his trophy. And of course, if you live and you have 3 beautiful children, yes, you have achieved. God has really blessed you. We can only wish that the many things that Christian Atsu was doing will be continued diligently, and then his legacy will clearly live on. But for the many that were benefactors of a lot of things that Christian has done, we just pray that God comforts them all. As much as they didn't expect help from Christian Atsu, may God continue to provide all of us help. Now the casket has been opened, and clearly that is where, when you're filing past, that is the part that you see. I'm sure that was the head area of Christian Atsu. And so for the, I think the canopies have been allocated. Everybody is allocated where to sit, and that is another hallmark of the military. So from where we stand now, we see that this is where the Ghana Football Association and the ministry has been allotted to sit when the ceremony or where everything begins. And Ghana, so this is all for Ghana Football Association. So if you are in company of the Football Association and the ministry, when you enter into the forecourt to my immediate right, your allocated seats are there as well. And just by them is only right, the Professional Football Association of Ghana, that's PFAG. They are just by the Football Association. Clearly, these two work in hand. And of course, Christian Atsu is a member of PFAG because he was a professional footballer who played at the highest level, one of the biggest clubs in the world, of course, Chelsea. And so we get to see where everybody has been allotted to sit, just as they did during the 1 week.